What's up, guys? Welcome back to another From video. Today we're going to be getting into some very interesting theories that have been brought to my attention, plus some things that were also brought to my attention regarding the last video, some things that I missed, and I want to comment on it. But the main theory that I'm going to wait to get into towards the end of this video is about the possibility of the ambush that Boyd mentions in the Season 3 trailer taking place during an eclipse that leads to what I'm calling the Eclipse Massacre. And this was originally brought forth by the Reddit user Taryn Matheru, so shouts out to them because I really want to get into it and expand upon this theory. So like I've already mentioned, there are some moments that I would like to address that was brought to my attention after my Season 3 trailer breakdown, starting with this random guy, the new stranger, with the photos of Victor and Eloise on his wall. Now, this is believed by the community to be Victor's dad or Eloise's husband. Personally, I think this guy looks too young to be Victor's dad in my opinion. So I'm leaning more towards it being Eloise's husband. Honestly, I'm not too convinced about that either. But these theories are very likely. And there's a possibility of it being some other family member, but there are family photos on the wall and it does show Eloise and Victor as kids. So yeah, it could definitely be their father given the photos. But like I said, given his appearance, it looks like he's a little too young to me, but with From, you just never know. Then there's also the bottle tree in his front yard, which makes you wonder if this guy had visions of Fromland, then added the bottles to the tree and made those paintings in his basement, or will we eventually come across Eloise this season and find out that she was the one who did all of this, and maybe she's just out during this time, not there, or maybe she moved out and this is her husband and they've separated and she lives somewhere else. It's going to be interesting to see where this is going to go. Then there's this image of the new village location where it looks like it might be the lighthouse in the background. So at the end of season 1, apparently this is supposed to be foreshadowing of the village, but it also looks like the distance doesn't quite match. Now, if we go back to season 2, right after Tabitha was pushed out of the lighthouse, it does sort of look like there was some sort of village layout beneath them, but at the same time, it looks like it is pretty far away. Now, maybe that was just done to hide the village. I don't really think that's the lighthouse. I think that's some other type of ancient tower. We've already seen kind of old ancient structures around From. That was proven to be last season where Boyd was able to teleport, in my opinion, back to that sort of ruin site. So this could definitely be some sort of other old architecture that's a part of this village. But there's also something that looks like a tower just a little farther away behind that image. It looks like it's beyond the trees, and that could also be the tower. You can't really quite make out exactly what it is. It doesn't look like a tree to me. It does look like some sort of tower, but like I said, you guys tell me what you think down below. Then something I also forgot to get into is the fact that later in the trailer, Jade is wearing Christy's beanie, and the theory surrounding this currently is that Christy was kidnapped by the cannibals from the village, and that's why we see Kenny and Jim heading out into the woods later in the trailer to the village to save her. So these figures we see from this cannibalistic group are definitely being used to mark their territory, which is something I pointed out before. You see heads on a stick or prehistorically skeletons or something around a cave before you enter. They're basically trying to warn off enemies pretty much. And I'm guessing whatever happened to these cannibalistic people in this village is probably what's currently happening to our characters back in the town. The food is running out, there's nothing else to eat, and now we have to start voting on whose ass is about to get thrown on a grill. And I mean, honestly, I don't really know what I would do in a situation like this. If our last resort is having to eat each other, then shit, I don't know. I say we eat the slowest and the fat people first. So anyone who's old basically gets eaten, and then anyone who's just fat at any age, they get thrown on the grill as well. But y'all gotta tell me down below though, are you eating people to survive if that's the situation? I gotta know. Now, with this theory, in my opinion, the question now becomes, why would cannibals only abduct Christy and leave Jade behind? I mean, no one truly knows how this is going to unfold, of course, but it does raise the question of whether or not Jade fled or if he is eventually taken with Christy. Because I feel like it's a little unlikely, or it really just doesn't make a lot of sense if these people are cannibals, which it does seem like they are, that they would leave extra food behind. You know what I'm saying? And it does sort of feel like Christy might actually die this season, along with the possibility of Kenny's mom, which that would suck to lose more main members of the cast, but I wouldn't be too bothered over them, to be honest. I do think the character of Christy is pretty cool, but if Christy was killed off, I wouldn't be that bothered by it. I mean, same thing with Miss Lou. These are characters that are heavily tied to characters we seem to like a little bit more. So, hey, it'll affect those characters. Like Kenny, he'll of course be very affected by this, but he's received enough blue balls from Christy, in my opinion. Losing his mom would really suck after also losing his father, but he already sees Boyd as a father figure. So I could see how they would tie that in the story. and these characters would be okay. And I mean, don't get me wrong, right? It would still be somewhat shocking, but not necessarily unexpected. So yes, let me know how you guys feel about those theories down below, but let's finally get into the big one, the Eclipse Massacre, which is, like I said, that's what I'm calling it. So the theory around this event is that the ambush that Boyd mentions in the trailer happens because of an unexpected early darkness that comes over the town. A lot of characters like Boyd, Miss Lou, Jade, Randall, etc. are caught outside, and these characters don't normally stay together. I mean, yes, Jade and the Matthews family is currently staying with Miss Lou and Kenny, but not Boyd and Sarah, and certainly not Victor. This also might explain why Ethan and Julie are seen opening the door for the creepy killer grandma at night, because maybe it wasn't night originally, or maybe they know it's not currently nighttime yet. But at the same time, they still could have seen through the windows that it was dark outside though, right? And although the monsters are tricksters in a way, we've never seen them actually trick any of the OG characters in the show, like they did with the little girl grandma killed in the beginning in season 1, episode 1. Now they did almost get Julie at the beginning of season 1, but since then, that was the last slip up we've seen from her. So once again, I've got to say, I'm going to need a clear explanation as to why Ethan opened the door. Because although he's just a kid, he's proven to be one of the smarter characters on the show, so let's make it make sense. Hopefully. Now, some evidence that supports this theory, besides so many people that don't live together being caught outside seemingly at night, is the fact that Victor has a couple of drawings in his room and one in his man cave in the back of that 18-wheeler truck out in the field that seem to hint at an eclipse. It seems that Victor may have lived through an event like this prior, since his drawings have been mainly proven to be memories and not just visions. Now, some might think that if Victor knows that an eclipse can happen in Fromland, then why wouldn't he warn the others or make it known? But we already know that Victor doesn't tell anyone shit about the things he knows about the town, except for a select few people like Ethan or Tabitha or even Jade. Plus, one of the major pet peeves us fans usually seem to agree on is that it sucks that the characters in the show never seem to share pivotal information with each other. And then moments like what happened in season 2 where Jim and Donna spoke about hearing the guy on the radio, but then her not wanting to say anything to others about it doesn't help either. So yeah. I mean, of course she didn't want to create false hope for the residents there, but at the same time, those people also deserve to know these things. But anyway, this is the way the theory goes about how this event may unravel with my added theories. So it starts off with everyone just going about their day as normal. Julie and Ethan are home alone, and Jim and Kenny are away trying to save Christy. Miss Lou, Jade, Fatima, and Boyd are out tending to the livestock, and suddenly the sky goes dark while they're all inside the barn. Then they go to leave the barn, and then they find out that it's dark out because of the eclipse. Plus the monsters are already there waiting for them. During this time, Jade and Victor escape, and the monsters make Boyd watch while they cut the baby out of Fatima, but they don't kill Boyd, which might be who Boyd is talking to in the teaser, telling her to be strong. Now, although it was already revealed that the audio of the woman crying in the background we heard was the same audio from Kelly, the chick whose head was pinned to the tree in season 2, of course we already know it's not her because she's dead.
You're so strong! You're so strong! Just... No, I know.
I'm thinking that the creators used that audio so they wouldn't reveal in the teaser who was really being tortured in that scene, which may turn out to very well be Fatima. And Miss Lou may have died there as well. So I'm thinking a total eclipse is about to trigger a pretty crazy ass chaotic event this season. Then if the monsters end up kidnapping the baby, this is just about to become even more chaotic. Plus there's another big detail we all cannot forget about, which is the fact that Fatima in the outside world is really unable to get pregnant.
All he ever wanted was to find
I'm pregnant.
Oh, sweetie! Oh.
Donna, I was told I can't have kids. What's happening right now is medically impossible. What if this place is trying to torture me, mock me?
So this happening in Fromland is already a miracle. And this baby, this new life being born in Fromland, could possibly be their way out, which is why the monsters might end up kidnapping her child. To prevent them escaping, maybe new life in this world is not supposed to happen. So yeah, that's something worth thinking about. But I just wanted to share those current theories with you guys and get your thoughts down below. The drawings on Victor's walls could have been some strong foreshadowing all this time. Plus, if I'm not mistaken, the creator John Griffin mentioned that a lot of hints and information about where the show is going is already buried and hidden throughout the show. So yeah, from there, let's just see what happens. But that's all I have for you guys for now. And as always, thank you for watching.